They went into the Breslin Center and lost 68-65 to the Michigan State Spartans. T.O., I am firmly on team Purdue is a fraud. Tell me why I'm wrong.
It's hard. It's hard. I got 1 foot off the bandwagon, 1 foot hanging on and barely. You got to find ways to get a stop. And really quickly, Fanta, I don't know if you saw it the other day, but Doster completely threw Ryan Daly under the bus with the NordVPN ad read the other day. Did you see that?
I was so shocked he didn't throw me under the bus today.
Well, Daly's like 23 years old. He's like, they don't want your search history and all that stuff. And Daly's like, we're trying to find a way to dive out of the camera's view. Sorry, go ahead.
Terrence, the problem is he does the read. We have to take the read from him. Like, that's the only way. It's the only way this is going to change. This is the only way it's going to change. All right, go ahead with your Purdue.
Sorry, back to Purdue. But Tyson Walker hit a big shot, but Michigan State came out small. I was curious if Purdue was going to leave Travion Williams in there, and they got the switch they wanted. And here's the thing: you can disguise a lot of things by being so good offensively. The hard part about that is you got to get timely stops. Purdue proved to me that that's going to be really difficult. I worry about this team defensively. You got to stop Sasha Stefanovic. Isn't that what Sweeney said last night? You stop him, you stop their outside threat because everybody else is a rim pressure based attack player. That makes me worried. The Purdue offense is as good as ever. That defense, if teams are able to keep it close, I worry towards the end of games. That offense is so good, I get worried. But defense in the tournament's usually what sticks out. So it's hard to really feel like Purdue could win a national championship at the rate things are going.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The formula for Purdue is out there to a point in which Michigan State could do what they did on Saturday, and that's say, you know what? We are going to eliminate what makes Purdue so lethal. Back in November and December on these shows, what did we say? Man, Purdue is so good because they have 4, maybe 5 guys that are capable of hitting a 3, and not just one, but could hit 3 or 4 in a game. So Michigan State says, we are taking that away from you. We are going to do everything we can to take it away from you. And guys, there's a reason why Tom Izzo just had that record performance in the Big Ten for all-time wins with Bob Knight on Saturday with that victory. And it's because he is one of the top 5 best game planners in the sport of college basketball. If Purdue gets the 3-point line taken away from them, they are not good enough on the defensive end of the floor to compensate for that. They're not. And that's the problem with the Boilermakers in the NCAA tournament, is that if on the other side, what does it take to beat one of the better teams in the country? You have to turn it on from the perimeter to a degree. And teams are more than capable of doing that in today's college basketball. The 3-point line can't be the single determinant of your ability to win. Now, the person that's a Purdue fan is going to say to us, well, wait a minute. We have 2 trees, and Zach Edey was great in this game. How could you say that the 3-point line is a single differentiator? Edey and Williams, like that, what they do in the paint, that's a constant for them. It's a constant for them. But when they hit 3s, it feels like 6. You know, it feels like more than it actually is because they just get into a rhythm. And sometimes all the time. Purdue's best defense is their offense.
Yeah.
Purdue's best defense is their offense. That's going to come back to haunt them. And that's why you're saying that they're a fraud. Are they actually a fraud? Well, no. But are they a fraud in terms of their ability to win a national title? They are, because they simply do not guard. They don't guard to the level that you have to if you're going to cut down the nets.
I'm on board saying that fraud feels harsh. They're a very good team.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I'm on the bandwagon of them losing in the first weekend. I think that's probably going to end up happening. There's a couple reasons why. One, the 2 teams, I said this on After Dark, the 2 teams they remind me of: last year's Iowa lost in the second round to Oregon, got smacked, and 2012 Missouri, the team that had Kim English at the 4, Frank Hayes' first year with Missouri. They were 30-4 on the season. They won the Big 12. They led the nation in offensive efficiency. They were 154th in defensive efficiency. Lost in the first round to John Fance's favorite Kyle O'Quinn and the Norfolk
Yeah.
State Spartans. So I think that Purdue is primed for an upset. If you don't have great point guard play, hit the buzzer, click, and you can't really guard anybody, like that is just, it's a huge, huge, huge red flag for me. Now, all that said, Zayden Ivey, would anybody be surprised if he went for like 30 points and 7 dimes in back-to-back games and carried this team to the Final Four? No, of course not.
But he's got to do it. You got to seize that and then take it. You know what I mean? Like there's times with Purdue offensively where I'm like, where are they going here? Or what are they, when they have options, but sometimes when you have a bunch of chefs in a kitchen, it doesn't mean that you're going to have a great dish at the end of the day. And right now with Purdue, they've got a lot of ingredients. But they're putting too much yeast to make a nice homemade Easter bread.
They got some great ingredients, but Fanta's cooking is the problem right now.
Yeah, really. I mean, I still think I think their talent level is there. Nobody's going to deny that. But God, if you're not in sync on the defensive end of the floor, it's really hard to win this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, look, they don't have great defensive guards, and Zach Edey is going to be at risk anytime that you play a team that's going to put him in a ball screen. It's just
for the record, Michigan State is not a great offensive team.
No, and look, and here's the thing: when you make Rob Finney and Xavier Johnson look like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, when you let AJ Hoggard and Tyson Walker go for 19 points and 10 assists, like it's just
that's
there's a reason why so many point guards are having career games, and just wait until they end up going up against a team that has like a great point guard. Like what happens if they play Oral Roberts and Max Asmus? He might get 60.